My wife had an affair with my parents' favorite son and got pregnant. They all expected me to raise the baby as mine, so I divorced her and cut contact until my business became worth millions, and suddenly everyone needed my help. Spent most of my life being the disappointment in my family. My name is Marcus, and I'm 38 years old. For 35 years, I lived in the shadow of my younger brother Ethan, who could do no wrong in our parents' eyes. I was the expendable son, the one who didn't quite measure up, the one whose achievements were never enough. Then my wife had an affair with Ethan, got pregnant with his child, and my family expected me to just accept it and move on. That's when I finally walked away from all of them. I'm the oldest of 3 children. My brother Ethan is 3 years younger than me, and our sister Claire is 5 years younger. From the time Ethan was born, it was clear he was special in our parents' eyes. He was a beautiful baby, a charming toddler, and grew into a charismatic teenager who excelled at sports and academics without seeming to try hard. I was the opposite. I was awkward, introverted, and had to work twice as hard for half the recognition. When I got a B on a test, my parents would ask why it wasn't an A. When Ethan got a B, they celebrated his effort and natural intelligence. When I made the junior varsity basketball team, through sheer determination and practice, my parents barely attended my games. When Ethan made varsity as a freshman, they never missed a single one. The favoritism wasn't subtle. Family photos prominently displayed Ethan's achievements, while mine were relegated to albums in the attic. Holiday conversations centered on Ethan's latest accomplishments, while my updates were met with polite disinterest. When I got accepted to a decent state university, my parents said it was nice. When Ethan got into the same university 2 years later, they threw a massive party and called all our relatives. I graduated with a degree in computer science and got a job at a tech startup. The pay was mediocre and the hours were long, but I was building useful skills. My parents constantly compared my career trajectory to Ethan's, who had gone into sales and was immediately successful at a large pharmaceutical company. He made more money than me right out of college and drove a nicer car. My parents loved to mention how well Ethan was doing whenever I visited. I met my ex-wife, Jessica, at a friend's wedding when I was 26. She was beautiful, funny, and seemed genuinely interested in me. We dated for a year before getting engaged and married 6 months later. My parents were polite about the wedding but not enthusiastic. My mother made several comments about how young we were and whether we were really ready for such a commitment. Jessica and I settled into married life in a modest 2-bedroom house about an hour from my parents' place. I was working as a software developer at a mid-sized company, making about $75,000 a year. We were comfortable financially and talked about starting a family in a few years. The problem started about 3 years into our marriage, when Ethan moved back to our area after working in another state. He had just broken up with his long-term girlfriend and wanted to be closer to family. My parents were thrilled and immediately started organizing family gatherings so Ethan wouldn't feel lonely. Jessica and Ethan seemed to hit it off right away. They had similar, outgoing personalities and shared interests in fitness and outdoor activities. I was glad my wife and brother were getting along, thinking it would make family gatherings more pleasant. I had no idea what was actually developing between them. Looking back, the signs were obvious. Jessica started dressing up more for family dinners, always making sure she looked perfect, when she knew Ethan would be there. She volunteered us to help Ethan move into his new apartment, then spent hours there, helping him arrange furniture and decorate. She started going to the same gym as Ethan, claiming it was more convenient than her old one. My parents encouraged the friendship between Jessica and Ethan. My mother would comment on how nice it was, that they got along so well, and how Ethan needed support from family during his difficult transition. My father suggested we include Ethan in our weekend plans, more often since he was adjusting to being single. About 6 months after Ethan moved